Okay, what can he do differently in terms
Yes.
of the economy? Well, we've got the sign right there for our fight for $15 minimum wage.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So
and
how is that gonna work?
the way it's going to work is that when a person who already has millions of dollars
Yes.
gets more money,
Yes.
they don't need to spend it. When somebody who is making minimum wage or is making less than $20 an hour gets extra money, they generally go out and celebrate, and they go and spend it on better things. Like if I had some extra money, I would get a haircut at this point.
Right.
And
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
so
how about
this ties into the velocity of money theory, because people that don't make as much make more money, and then they put it right back into the system. The money changes hands, and people get goods and services in exchange for that, and that boosts the economy overall.
I agree with everything that you've said except one thing,
Which part?
and that's the number.
The number.
The number.
You think it's too high?
Because no, it's just totally arbitrary. I mean, why 15? Why not 50? You know what? I would love everybody to be paid $50 an hour. Why not? Why not 50? Why not 100 an hour? Why not? But here's the problem. I'm a small businessman, so this is what's going to happen. Obviously, again, if we talk about capitalism, you know what's the main thing for any capitalist?
You got to make some money.
Exactly.
Maybe not get rich, but make some money.
Make some money. Make the key word, which is forbidden under socialism, starts with the letter P. Profit.
Step 3.
High five.
Sorry, I had an ADD attack for a moment. You beat me. So you're worried about how raising the minimum wage is going to affect you as a small business?
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. And this is why my answer is yes and no. I am trying as a small businessman to attract the best minds, the best skills, the best employees. Because in the end, it pays me to have the dedicated people who know how to do the job, and obviously as the appreciation for their labor, and it's not a matter of generosity, it's just a matter of real common sense, because there's my competitor next door who would like to get this talent as well. I would like to keep him. The only way for me to make him happy, obviously, in the capitalist system, is to raise the salary, which I'm doing constantly with my guys, because I know they have families, to feed. I know they're doing a great job. I want to reward them for what they do, and I want to keep them, most importantly, because I like them. Teamwork is the most important thing for my business to succeed. Now, when it comes to $15, when it's mandated, a certain amount of money, and it's a minimum wage we're talking about. No real family lives on minimum wage when you think about it. It's a starting point.
Some of them do.
Well,
Yeah.
but some very unfortunate. But that's when social things that we're talking about kick in.
The programs.
The programs, which
Yes.
I'm not against.
Yeah.
Really, I'm not against those programs for the people who really need it as a temporary thing. I myself, as a new immigrant, obviously for the first couple of months coming to this country with $100, I relied on the system. How would I pay? And generosity of or charity organizations, they helped me a little bit to get on my feet. I mean, imagine all of a sudden they drop you in the country with $100 in their pocket.
That would be. I don't know what I would do.
Exactly, but that's the
I'd sing in the streets.
But that's the situation I was in.
Okay.
So I was on this, system, this program for maybe 4 months or so. I got the job, and since then I've been here since 1988. I never asked anyone for any help at this point. Obviously, if something happens to me, I will go back and
Well, you
rely
use
on
the social system. Some people might argue that was asking the government for help.
Well, it is government in the sense that we all pay into it. But getting back to the $15.
Okay.
I don't want to lose track of where we started.
Yes.
So they're young kids, 15, 16. For them, $50 an hour or even $7 an hour, living in parents' houses, everything being paid for, it's just pocket money. But what it gives
or
them...
college fund, or potentially
college
an
fund.
automobile,
Yeah, whatever.
or they live in an
Fine.
abusive household and need to move out, or they just want to move
Exactly.
out.
So if they're small, a kid, I can afford who is helping me, and it's really a help. I mean, I would never consider that kid to be my permanent employee. It's just someone coming in, in summer, helping me out in the farm, or who knows, let's say in whatever business, just helpers. So it works for me because it's not a big expense for me, and it can be a big expense because these are not skilled workers by definition. They're just kids. And it's good for them because for them, it's just either pocket money or, like you said, college fund, whatever they want to do with this money, right?
Okay.
So all of a sudden, I'm mandated to pay $15 an hour.
Could I correct you for a second?
Sure.
All right. You're not going to be all of a sudden mandated to pay them $15 an hour. His plan is to slowly but surely raise the minimum wage over a course of years to $15 an hour in order to make sure that it doesn't become any kind of detrimental thing on the economy. And then they will be able to slowly raise it, see if it's doing any problems, and then if it's doing okay, then they could raise it a little more.
But think about it this way. Could I pay someone $1 a day in this country?
Not legally.
No, let's forget for a moment that there's no like legal system that mandates that. Could I pay someone?
If there was no legal system, then you could.
Yeah, but would anyone come to me?
It depends on what the local competition is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're answering the most. What you're pronouncing is the most fundamental thing about the system that does work. Competition. We compete not only for the product, meaning my product is better than your product. My product is cheaper than your product. My product is different and has bells and whistles. I'm competing most importantly for the minds and the hands and the skills of the people who would make my business successful. I'm nothing. I'm nobody without the people I'm working with, right or wrong?
Right.
And it's true for anyone, including Donald Trump, that probably you're protesting against.
Yeah.
You know.
I just found myself here. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right place.
Yeah, but since we're talking about the Trump, for instance, I mean, it's the same story. He has tens of thousands of employees. I'm sure they're happy employees because if they were not, they would have left him and they would work for somebody else. I would have hired them.
But he also has hired a number of people over in other countries so that he would be able to pay the workers less money. So
but
it's
that's
not exactly
but that's the
accurate.
globalization. I mean, I do business with Brazil. I'll give an example. I mean, I am by extension also involved in global business. I'm in furniture business. So I have people in Brazil who make furniture for me.
My dad does carpentry.
So we're kind of related in a way.
Kind of.
So by buying furniture from Brazil, by extension, even though I'm not technically employing those people, but I'm supporting their families. I'm paying them by the dint of purchasing and making the product over there, right?
Yeah.
So Donald Trump, in this case, not only paying his own employees, but he supports people around the world. I mean, your global Bernie Sanders is a global thing.
You mean his opposition to the trade deals?
Is he opposed to trade deals?
Most of them. I'm not too familiar with the trade deal portion of his ideas.
But getting back, I'm sorry, we got
Okay,
carried
yeah, we
away.
were talking about $15.
We started $15.
Getting back, if you could buy the lumber from the guy in Brazil, like you were saying, and you could pay, Brazil would be paying these people, I'm just making it up, $2 an hour. Why would you buy it from America when they could pay their workers $7.25 an hour and have to price it to still
Brazil's
make
known
profit
for
to
good
their
lumber.
business? I'm just making it up.
Okay. But supposing you found out that the people that you were getting your lumber from were treating their workers
Furniture.
unfairly. Okay, the furniture. They were treating their workers unfairly, and they were working for like $1 a day.
Look,
would you still buy it from them?
Here's
Why would you buy it from America when?
why wouldn't
America?
why wouldn't I buy from America?
Right.
Why wouldn't I?
If you could get it,
Why
where
would-
they're paying $1 an hour to their workers, they're probably charging, I don't know. I'm just making it up, $5 a pound. Why would you buy it from America where they're charging 14 because they have to pay their workers $7.25 an hour?
So why wouldn't I buy it from?
Prices would increase in
Of course.
America because they have to pay their workers $7.25 an hour.
If I buy it from American
Yes.
manufacturer, for instance,
Right.
Yes.
it's not about me. See, if I could sell it for $1,000, I would. If I could sell my piece of furniture for $10,000, I would. Would you buy it? No. So everything boils down to competition, and everything boils down to the perceived value.
But
You know what I'm saying?
There's other ways to compete besides money as well. Because right now I make about
Services, yes.
I make about $13 an hour. I used to make $8 an hour in food service. But when people have been talking to me about McDonald's workers working for $15 an hour and do they deserve that much, even though I work for $13 an hour right now, if I were offered a job at McDonald's for $15 an hour, I wouldn't take it because they treat the workers miserably.
But let me get back to your question. It's a valid question. Would I buy from someone who asked me if I knew that they were mistreating their employees?
Or underpaying them. or mistreating them through underpaying them?
Well, the answer to that is yes and no. And this is what I mean by that.